Hey, this is Brett with American Capital, and I want to talk briefly about costs to close. You know, there's oftentimes a real disconnect for both buyers and people who are refinancing when it comes to, sort of your fixed costs of the loan, and that could be via the down payment that you're going to make on the home, or in the case of a refi, whatever points and fees that you have agreed to pay on the one hand, and your cost to close on the other. And I want to talk about that briefly. Probably the biggest thing that people don't understand is this issue of prepaid interest or interest payable. And the thing that's confusing about it, and I'll try to take the mystery out of it, is that you pay mortgage interest in arrears. And that means that you pay behind yourself. So when you're making a payment, for example, on January 1st, you're paying for, not for January interest, but for December interest in the past. Now this is a little bit counterintuitive, but let me try to do this very quickly. On a purchase, you would say, well, there is no interest in the past. I haven't owned the home, so how am I going to have to pay prepaid interest? Well, the answer is because, your note rate, the new loan, is always going to start on the first of a given month. You're never going to have a note rate that starts, let's say, on March 12th. It's always going to start on March 1st or April 1st or May 1st or whatever it is. So if you were to close, let's say here on December 16th on a purchase, and your note rate starts on January 1st, the clock, if you will, starts ticking here on January 1st forward, and you won't make a payment until February 1st. The issue, however, is that you have from December 16th to January 1st, before the note actually starts, where there's still interest payable to the bank or to the lender, because, you don't get to live in your house for free. It just doesn't happen. So you would be liable for, in this case, 15 days of interest that you've got to bring in on a purchase, and that adds to your cost to close in addition to your down payment. Now on a refi, where the clock has been ticking all along, and let's say that you are going to fund, your loan on January 20th, for example, okay? The clock started ticking here on January 1st. It is going all the way here. We've got to pay the old lender their interest for January 1st through the 20th. And then we've got to pay the person or the bank who's going to hold it until the 31st for this interest. So this interest plus this interest. And then the clock starts ticking here until you get out to March 1st, right? Because February is going to start going. So just remember that when you go to close a purchase or a refi, you will have interest payable. It's not a fee that's being charged. It's just a function of the clock ticking and where your loan falls in the timing.